Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to ask the question, is the legendary Ancient Genie event free-to-play friendly? Let's go ahead and dig in. So candidly, there's been a lot of conversation, a lot of messages to me, a lot of, people out there saying that the game is very pay to win heavy. This isn't a free to play favored event. If you're free to play, it sucks to be you to play this event. And I really wanted to take a moment and talk about this because I think a lot of people are feeling or making the claim that because a game or a feature or an event is pay to win more or pay to win, that immediately means that it's not free to play friendly. And I think it's very important that we distinguish between these two things, because you can have pay to win features in a game and you can have free to play features in the game, and they can coexist. I think a lot of the times when you see them not coexisting would be in content like Lava Valley, in content that is like competitive PvP or score based. And while there is going to be some of that in the second half of the event, I think that may not necessarily dictate whether or not free-to-play players' experience is impacted. So I guess the first thing we would have to describe is, what does free-to-play friendly mean? Because I think there is a misunderstanding on what being free-to-play friendly means. And I'll give you an example right now. For me, if I was looking at a game and it was free-to-play friendly, that's the event. I would want to classify the event as free-to-play friendly. What that would mean is I could get all of the rewards that I want, right? It would mean I would be able to complete the objectives, complete the missions, basically that I would be able to fill out this entire top bar, right? And I would be able to benefit from it quite a bit. So to answer the first question right now, I do believe we will be able to fill out the top bar, but candidly, we have not seen the full breadth of the event yet. We haven't even seen, we're not even through the first week of the event in a 4-week event. And so we don't even know what else is going to be coming for this event, right? We don't even know what other features are going to be released, or what else is going to be coming. So for right now, to jump to conclusions and say that this isn't free to play friendly, I think is not necessarily the right conclusion to make, because I think we do have to discover and find out whether or not you can get all of the rewards as free to play, which I imagine you will be able to do. I also think there's a lot of people saying that you don't get a lot of rewards from being free to play doing this event. And I went through and I calculated all of the rewards minimum that you could get as a free-to-play player, and that involves 4 tokos, 28 minimum attempts for cookies or for toko. So you're guaranteed minimum awakening 4, right? You're pretty much guaranteed almost more than that, because you're probably going to get cookies or tokos from your 28 tier 5 attempts. This is not even including any of tickets you might acquire, whether that's through the other optional event that's going on right now alongside this. It's not including any of that. Additionally, if you can't complete the board, assuming this is what I would consider a free-to-play friendly event, you will get a 4-star familiar egg that gives you a random 4-star familiar. So right off the bat there, like for me, if I was a free-to-play player playing a game, and I have been free to play on previous Netmarble games, particularly Seven Nights 2, this is a huge, great event. This is an event that is fantastic as a free to play player. Not only that, we also have an event going on right now that is giving upward, I think it's either 5 or 6 4-star familiars to players for logging in every day. You get 10 summons, you got 200,000 gold. So for me to hear people say this isn't free to play friendly event, that this is not free to play oriented at all, I think that's wrong. And I do agree with most people. I do think you can pay to win more in this event. And I think that's really clear. And I think that's really obvious. But I don't think that that necessarily will impact your capability to enjoy the event as a free-to-play player. There's also some people who are upset that there's no daily event ticket, or that there's no daily event to run. And I can understand that, but there's also 7 tickets that you can get in the shop weekly. So all they really did is take those daily events and put them in the shop so that you can do them whenever you want. So I don't really think that that is anti-free-to-play. I don't think that making it purchasable with the currency that you can buy in-game, or that you can get in-game from killing monsters quite easily, like in a single day of farming the tokens, right? Of farming the monsters, you'll have enough tokens to get the entire week's supply of tickets. I don't think that's anti-free-to-play, and I think it's just, you know, I would rather have an event, you know, give me tickets that way than to have an event give me like a drip event every single day that I have to log in and do and remember. Very similar to World Boss, very similar to Dimension Border. I would like, just give me those tickets, let them stack up, and I will tackle it towards the end of the event. I also think it's important to point out, we don't even know what's coming out over the next couple of weeks. We have 3 weeks coming out where we don't know if they're going to add new weekly logins. We don't know if they're going to be doing something fun or something great. Usually there's a really big patch every 2 weeks, so there's probably going to be a big part 2 to this event. Also, finally, this event does come back in the Korean version of the game for you guys to finish Toko. So, you know, it's not a situation where you have to max out Toko right now. You know, you are going to be able to max out Toko again in the future. This becomes a permanent staple event on the Korean side. So, you know, I think there is a lot of faux anger out there talking about how this event is not necessarily free-to-play friendly, and there's a lot of anger talking about how it's pay to win, but I don't think we necessarily sit down and talk about what it means to be pay to win and what it means to be free-to-play friendly. And I think the event actually satisfies both answers. I think this event does both of them really well, and I don't think you're hurt either way by doing one or the other. I think it's also important to note that you'll probably never be number one if you are competing in a score base as a free-to-play. But for me, it's always been about, can I be competitive? So when I was in Seven Nights 2, I always kind of, when we had ranking events, I would always look at the event that we were participating in and say, can I get in top 1,000, right? As a free-to-play, can I get in top 1,000? And I think that's something that we're going to be looking at as this event goes forward, because there is going to be a score system associated with the high-ranking challenge mode. Can you place in top 1,000 as a free-to-play player? I think that's going to be a really big question, a really big indicator. I also think there's really big differences between the types of free-to-play players that are out there. There are free-to-play players that are extremely casual, and there are free-to-play players that are very hardcore. And for me, you know, to be free-to-play friendly in a way, I would say it needs to appeal to those free-to-play hardcore players, not necessarily that casual player base. This is a pretty big discussion, you guys. I know that I myself am a whale, so hearing that from me, I understand you guys might be like, well, shut the fuck up, and I get that, I understand. But I also think in our channel, I do encourage people to think about things from different perspectives, and I think for us to get hyped up, to get angry, to, you know, knee-jerk react to this event in ways that are not necessarily true, at least, right? I think that is pretty important to talk about and to analyze. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Again, leave your comment down below. If you think I got the wrong perspective, feel free to ream me down below, and I will catch you guys next time.